one one of the first things I noticed about Nuzest was just opening the container and physically looking at the quality of the protein. You could see that it's a high quality product just by the consistency and the kind of silky texture that it has. You know, having experienced lots of different products that are out there on the market, this product's it's really smooth and it's got a nice feel to it. Is there something about the processing that happens in Belgium that makes it unique and and really nice to work with?
Yeah, I mean, part of that is the fact that it is the very highest grade of pea protein isolate. So it's isolated to a level at which what you're getting is mostly, almost entirely protein, and that really helps because a lot of the other stuff that would come through, those residual starches and fibers, are what tends to make it a little bit grittier. And
Yeah.
so there are different grades of pea protein. So not all pea proteins are created equal, not all pea protein isolates are created equal, and they have particular purposes. Now, if you're using a type of pea protein that's not supposed to be mixed in water or not supposed to be mixed in a liquid, it's
Right.
not going to be very good for that. But sometimes those might be cheaper. So, companies might take shortcuts and use particular grades because it's easier or it's available or it's cheaper. But really, you have to use the right type of pea protein for the best outcome. And so you're basically looking at the very highest grade there, which can be used for extreme mixability, and that has the best taste profile as well. One thing that is also interesting is that different peas have different tastes.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people will take a product and think that really tastes like pea, whereas
Yeah.
our product doesn't really taste like peas. It tastes like whatever the flavor is, which is
Yeah.
what you want, right? And that also comes down to the type of pea that's growing, because they're all the same species, but the different varieties have slightly different properties, particularly with respect to taste.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that to be pretty big, actually. I often hesitate to label it as a pea protein because people associate it with other pea proteins that they've tasted that taste not so good. Whereas I think this as a plant-based protein in general tastes very good.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one because when we first started the company, I didn't really know that much about pea protein. I'll be completely honest, right? We were looking for the proteins that would work the best. And I had a lot of, I was very familiar with whey protein from years and years in the supplement industry. And so you just default to that thinking it's you know, the best protein. And when
Right.
it was mentioned to me that, hey, maybe we should look into pea protein a little bit deeper, I kind of thought, really? Peas are, it seems pretty weird to
Yeah.
make a protein powder out of peas. Now, of course, it's quite common. There are a lot of companies that now use it, but back when we started, there weren't very many at all. And so it was an interesting thing to sort of change perception. And I think that's all it takes is people just need to change their perspective on where they're deriving things from. Now,
Yeah.
I'll place a lot of, I guess, a lot of the awareness has come from the plant-based community as well,
Yeah.
because obviously protein has to be derived from plant sources in a plant-based diet. And
Yeah.
so that kind of opens the doors. And now as more people are interested in plant-based diet, they're starting to find that the idea of getting protein from non-animal sources is not really weird anymore. It kind of makes sense. So I think a lot of the resistance as well, taste
Yeah.
aside, is starting to break down now.